in the parched desert sands of ancient Osirian.
Long-forgotten secrets are becoming unearthed
that could threaten the security of the entire region.
Through cursed tombs, undead crypts, and towering pyramids,
our unlikely band of heroes must rise to the challenge
and find the secrets of
the Mummy's Mask.
Last time on the Mithril Tabletop.
Come on, you got this! They're not that scary!
They have an intelligence of -5, and apparently so do I.
And then we are gonna do explode!
We're gonna take 26 piercing damage.
Holy fuck balls!
That was a nat 20 for 29 total. It wasn't locked, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Can't keep my spear! I worked hard on that.
I'll feed you chicken if you stop attacking us.
It kind of like looks at you, its face completely bandaged except for its mouth. It screeches at you and it lunges to attack. Let's roll for initiative. Hey, hi, and hello, ladies, gentlemen, and all folks in between. It's your boy, Andrew Wahba, GM of our Here Little Show. I just wanted to talk super quick about some of the work that goes into GMing a game like this behind the scenes. Every now and then, I read a Reddit post discussing about how someone wants to convert X monster or spell into Y system, usually based on the subs that I follow, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And let me tell you, it's not always easy. Sometimes, as I'm reading through The Half-Dead City, the current book of the adventure path written by Jim Groves, shout out, whoop whoop, I run into a monster that doesn't yet exist in 2nd Edition, maybe it never will. The monster we fought last session was one good example. It traces its history back all the way to the early days of 1st and 2nd Edition D&D, way back in the early 80s. It was eventually ported into Pathfinder 1st Edition, where it found its way into the Mummy's Mask. The very first thing I do when I need to convert a monster like this, one that doesn't exist in the current edition of the game, is I try to find the old versions of it and try to get a sense of its vibe, you know? Like, what's this thing's deal, bro? I try to figure out what it's all about. So I looked it up, and this thing was all about being sticky. It likes to grab onto things. It has this adhesive, and I'm like, oh, light bulb, that's exactly like a mimic. So I took a mimic, I started off with that as a base, I removed the object shifting stuff, I added a few extra skills here, changed some of the numbers around, gave it like a movement speed that was a little bit faster than like a walking furniture, and voila, that was easy. Now, it's not always that easy. Obviously, sometimes you have a monster that has a unique ability that doesn't yet exist in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, something that I would have to homebrew from scratch. And I would love to go into that in more detail, but that's something that maybe I'll do for a video or something. I don't know. That idea is up in the air. No promises for now, though. But there's one more thing I want to say before I go. As always, I want to thank each and every single one of you for listening to our show and sticking with us for this long. Truly, it means so much, and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. But we can only go up from here, and we can't get there without your support. If you enjoy us, please don't forget to like, share, and review us everywhere you can. It really makes all the difference. It helps us move up the charts and get us exposed to more people. And as we continually improve and make our product better, we want you guys to just enjoy the best show possible. And sharing us around is the best way that you can help us right now. If you have any suggestions, tips, tricks, or whatever, you just want to talk to us and say hi, email us at themithraltabletop@gmail.com. Don't be shy, we won't bite, I promise. Okay, but that's enough out of me. So without further ado, here's episode 15. Whoa, stuck on you. You and me, baby, we're stuck like glue. Whoa, stuck like glue. You and me, baby, we're stuck like glue. Okay, so I have a good banter topic for today. It's super good. It's so amazing. You guys, it's gonna blow your feet away.
Sure.
Your socks away.
Feet away? Gosh!
I'm
This
blow
got a
your
little
feet
violent.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this question. I like my feet.
I am suspicious.
Makes it easier to walk.
I don't want to step on a landmine.
Oh gosh! That escalated quickly.
Okay. So So the topic I was thinking of to talk about is guilty pleasures. I have recently gotten into this one online, like, what's it called? A mobile phone game. Like a mobile game. That's what they're called. Mobile games.
You're not that old yet to forget that.
I couldn't think of the term. I'm very tired. So I got into this mobile game recently, and it's so addictive because all it is just building up this like economy to try and make a small number get bigger, and just those endorphins that fly through your brain. Literally, I'm holding a single button down. Like, I'm not even doing anything actively. Like, I literally have it sideways, like, on my hand. I'm just not paying attention to it. It's just completely idle. But every once in a while when I check on it, the small number has gotten bigger, and it makes me happy.
That
You know
just
what?
sounds
I
like a
wish
stock
he was
market.
playing not stock market.
Stock market. I don't know.
Were you gambling?
Capitalism?
Wahba, were you gambling?
No, I'm not gambling. No, okay, so I don't want to say the name because it's a guilty pleasure, and I feel guilty about it.
It's a game where he literally is farming chickens.
It's eggs.
Or
It's literally
figuratively,
eggs.
sorry, not literally.
So it starts
What?
off with a normal edible egg, but then you new research discovery. Now we have superfood eggs. Oh, we can make these medicinally helpful. And you're like, okay, this so far I'm with you.
Is
But
this
then they
because
upgrade
of the
to-
chicken thing? Are you caught up on the chicken swarm still?
What? I love chicken so much. But no, so you upgrade the medicinal egg, and it immediately goes out of left field. You upgrade the medicinal egg to the rocket fuel egg. And then for rocket fuel, it just gets wacky out of there. Like, you upgrade it to eventually get, like, fusion eggs. You get, like, tachyon eggs, which are, like, faster than light particles. Universe eggs, literally an egg that you hatch or you crack open and it expands into a universe. So you start expanding into this multiverse of chickens. It's so stupid. It's so fun. And I'm so addicted.
He also he's made, like, trillions of fake money on this game, too. And also it has these little drones that go by, and I try to catch them, but...
Does anybody else feel me on this? Like, does anybody else have a super guilty pleasure?
Nope,
right
I have
now.
I have no guilty pleasures. I enjoy everything that I do without guilt. So
Call of Duty?
that is not okay, no. That is not a guilty pleasure. I'm
That sounds
not
like
like
a kind of yes.
no, I'm not ashamed to play COD.
Why are you getting so defensive, Erin?
Aaron hasn't
got
done
I'm
Call of
offended
Duty in
that
a while.
no, because the whole point of a guilty pleasure is supposed to be like something you don't want people to know that you do. I don't care if people know I play COD. And it's insulting that you think it would be like, beneath people to play it, that it would have to be a guilty pleasure.
Uh-huh.
That said, I guess you could say my guilty pleasure is Legend of Zelda.
What?
You have to
actually
partake for it
enjoy
to be a
Legend of
guilty
Zelda.
pleasure, Erin.
No, it's because it's embarrassing to play.
Oh.
You take
No,
that
I'm just
back.
trying to get a rise. I'm just trying to get a rise.
My guilty pleasure is eating chocolate.
Oh,
That's a very common. That's a good one. That's very common motif.
I currently have a big bag of Snickers right next
Oh,
to me.
Snickers.
I don't hate chocolate, but like I'll have like a bag of chocolate, like I'll give you in the store and be like, oh, I want some chocolate, and then I'll go home and it'll be there for months and I won't touch it. Like I don't know, I just don't eat
not
chocolate
me.
that much.
Erin,
Not
I
me.
wish I had that problem. I buy chocolate and it's gone in 2 days. Like, I can't have it.
Oh my gosh, are you like me, Ashley, where like you wake up and you're like, chocolate sounds good right
Yes!
now?
I
8 o'clock in
could
the
eat
morning.
chocolate all day, every day. Same with pizza, and it's horrible because they're like my 2 favorite foods. And oh yeah, and ice cream. I need to. This is why I have to lose weight.
Bluebell ice cream is the best.
Oh, okay. I finally tried Hold on. I finally tried Bluebell ice cream for the very first time. I don't remember where I was. Oh, Kentucky. And it was so good. I have been waiting to try it for years. Ever since Good Mythical Morning did their whole ice cream tier thing and Bluebell won, and I've always wanted to try it, and Ohio doesn't sell it. Sorry, that's my rant.
It's a southern ice cream.
It was so good, though. It was like the creamiest ice cream. It did not disappoint, and now I want it
Yes.
again.
Okay, you guys want guilty pleasure? I actually like ice cream that is like more ice in it, has like a little bit more ice in it rather than smooth.
Oh,
There we go.
why?
It's a texture thing. If it's too smooth, it kind of grosses me out. So like gelato, I can't do gelato. It's like, ugh. Or like there's some like ice cream brands that like the ice cream is just like really soft, and like creamy, like you said, and it's just like, I can't do it. I like it from the machine, or there are some brands that, you know, I guess aren't as churned as much. I don't know how ice cream's made. but like, honestly, I kind of like the cheaper brands of ice cream more than the, like, more expensive ones. Maybe it's too rich or something. I don't know. But I also like, I cannot do, like, a thick milkshake. Like, my dad, we'll go to Arby's or whatever, and, like, we'll get a milkshake, and he's like, this thing's too thin. I'm like, this milkshake's too thick.
Oh, Arby's milkshakes. Listen, I just like ice cream. Like, period. I just like ice cream.
Your dad is also like a very traditional, like super Southern man. Like he's very like old school Southern man.
So you guys, did you ever go to the dairy out by the Naz?
I have never been.
I went like once or twice with a group.
So
did they shut it down?
They did. I don't know if they're open now or not. But so what they would do is they would like cheap ice cream. It was amazing and really good homemade ice cream. My favorite was yellow cake. But anyways, you could buy for less than $3 like a waffle cone that was huge, and then they would have like, it would be a waffle cone full of ice cream and then a scoop on top. And we, like, my dad loves ice cream. I mean, he eats so much ice cream. And just as much as he loves Tang. But, so we were like, you know, we were really excited when they were going to come up for a visit, I think for, like, homecoming concert or something like that. We're like, oh, we got to take him to the dairy. We got to take him to the dairy. And so we, like, you know, like, anticipating him visiting this, and, like, so he finally gets there, and he's eating his waffle cone, and he eats all of it. I mean, like, this huge one. We're all still eating our waffle cones. It's so big. And then he comes back in with a new waffle cone with a different flavor, and we were all laughing. He was like, do you like it, Dad? And he's just like, he shrugged, and he goes, it's all right. Which in my dad's term means, this is really good. He never says something is good. Like,
we need to make a stamp for him now that says it's all right.
It's all right. And like, it's hilarious because my sister-in-law like makes noodles all the time, and he'll say, oh yeah, this is all right. Like the first time he tried it, it's all right, but every time he requests it, and then like he'll brag about her noodles, but like when he eats it, he's like, yeah, it's all right.
That's
it's like, that's how you know it's good, is when he says it's all right.
I am a horrible daughter to my dad because I will sit there and beg my dad. I'll be like, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. What do you really think, Dad? What do you think? My dad's like, oh my gosh, chill.
You do that to me too. What are you talking about?
I know, but like if I cook something new, because my dad is such a good cook, and I will be like, Dad, what do you think? What do you think about this? Dad, what do you think? Do I need to add this? And Dad, my dad's just like, it's fine.
Let me enjoy this. Just let me have a moment to taste it and make my decision.
Meanwhile, when I cook for my dad, he goes, yeah, it's edible.
It's edible, and it's a sample approval by me.
Oh my god.
Who else has a guilty pleasure we haven't gone through? I feel like Katie hasn't talked about one.
Katie, you and Alyssa still haven't given their guilty pleasures.
Do I have one?
I don't know. I know Ashley has one she told me about earlier.
I can think of one for Katie.
She's like, how do I kill you before you say anything?
That's in the fridge right now?
Oh, yeah, when you were talking about the chocolate, it made me remember my cheesecake that's in the fridge that I'm really tempted to go up and get to.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake's so good.
I can.
Cheesecake is so good.
She has eaten a whole cheese. Like,
It's
she's
not
eaten
all
the
of it
whole
gone. I've
cheesecake.
only eaten half.
When did I make that cheesecake, Katie Marie?
I don't know.
Oh, middle name.
A couple days ago.
You dropped the whole name.
Yeah, I made it like Thursday night.
It's a couple days.
I think I'm
No,
fine.
here's the thing. I made it Thursday night, and I was like, you can't start eating it until...
She made
tomorrow
me
morning.
wait a whole day.
Not even
Not
a
even
whole
a
day.
whole
She
day.
said tomorrow morning. That's one night.
So she started eating it that time during lunch. Like, that's all she had for lunch.
Oh my goodness. If it makes you feel better, I can't make brownies here. They're gone in like a day.
Yeah, I will devour brownies. This brownie loves brownies. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, okay. I gotta defend myself a tiny bit. and then I'm going to throw myself under the bus. So the first time I went and got the cheesecake, I actually cut a slice. It was a large slice, but I still cut a slice. The next time, though, didn't feel like cutting a slice, so I just brought the whole pan, because I'm the only one that's going to eat it. Brought the whole pan and a fork into my room with me.
How is this defending yourself?
No, I said I was going to defend myself first, and then throw myself under the bus.
Okay, that's throwing yourself under the bus. Got it.
I can't blame you. I like cheesecake a lot. Every year for my birthday, that's what I ask for.
Cheesecake is such a good cake. I don't know if I like it for a birthday cake, though. I there's just something about carrot cake that's just so good.
I know, you're
for
a carrot
cakes.
cake guy.
Cake is disgusting.
Anjela doesn't like
Some
the
of it
texture.
is. Some of it is. You have to find a really good cake. It's very hit and miss with me.
The only cake that I have found that I can even stand having more than one bite of is the bundt cakes.
Oh, they're
Bundt
so
I love
good.
bundt cakes.
Nothing but
The nothing
cakes.
but cakes. Yeah.
Oh, I've never had nothing bundt cakes.
What is bundt cake?
I think you would like it. It's basically just like,
It's a specific cake pan.
yeah, they're in a circle cake pan. That.
They're holy cakes, okay?
So Ashley just posted a GIF of them, and I think my mom has made these before.
Yes, she has.
But we've never called them bundt cake because my mom is as Arab as they come, so she doesn't have English words that other people would have. No, she's definitely made this cake before. And
Well, what
it's
does she
okay.
call it?
She just calls it cake.
Yeah, it's just
Oh.
cake.
I mean, it is
cake.
cake. It's just in the pan you cook it in that makes it a bundt
And
cake.
I'm sure I'm sure it might have a little bit different of a recipe because like a normal cake, the texture is just like it's too dry for me, and it might just be the nothing but cakes that like their recipe, like when they're making it, but like that is the only cake in the small individual form that I can handle because it's moist enough. Like,
Gotcha.
Oh no, not moist again.
Oh gosh, and it comes to haunt us.
There is
but yeah,
a nothing bundt cake in Columbus, by the way. There's a couple in Columbus. There are two. There's one in
Okay.
Upper Arlington and one in Gahanna.
So is nothing bundt cake? Is that like a restaurant or is that like a style of cake?
It's a restaurant.
no, it's a restaurant, yeah. It's like a little cafe.
It's a restaurant with a punny name because
We'll
it has
go.
a bunt in the name.
Yeah, we'll go.
Gotcha.
I've always wanted to go
Sure.
try it, so we'll go try
Yeah,
it.
I don't
I'll
know if
try
the one in
anything once.
Ohio is any good, but the one in Abilene is really good.
all right. Alyssa and Ashley, your guilty pleasures real quick, and then I will feel guilty about punching Tanhi in the face. So
Oh. Alyssa, you can go first.
Okay. My guilty pleasure is canceling plans with friends.
you know what? No, that is very
That makes
relatable.
sense.
I
That makes
totally
sense.
understand.
Especially when you just want to sleep.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Ashley, guilty pleasure.
We were talking about it earlier because Andrew was trying to come up with a topic, right? And I was like, I don't know if I have a guilty pleasure. And I was like, oh yeah, I do. Adult cartoons. I didn't realize that came out really, really wrong. When I say that, I mean like American Dad and King of the Hill and Family Guy. But Andrew kindly pointed out to me by screaming, hentai?
And yet, you still decided to throw yourself under the bus anyways.
Listen, if Katie can throw herself under the bus, I can too. Right side, best side, okay?
Yeah! Right
But-
side.
Wait, are you saying that's the best side to run you over with that like bus that you got thrown under?
Oh my god.
I
Anyway.
mean, that is the side that they try to get onto the bus.
Yeah.
So-
Oh gosh, could you imagine us trying to get on a bus together?
It would be so disruptive as a group.
Anyway, but that and reality TV. Like, I love Real Housewives,
trashy.
Bridezillas, the
So
Kardashians. Like, all of those are my guilty pleasures. And I'm not ashamed. People know. It's fine.
Those shows like just make you realize like money does not buy you everything.
I would have to agree. And I always tell my dad, will be like, why are you watching this? I'm like, sometimes it makes me feel better about myself. Sometimes it doesn't.
God. Being a good boyfriend, I would sometimes have to watch some of these episodes with her.
Thank you, love.
And you're welcome. And sometimes it makes me feel really sad for humanity, especially with like Bridezilla, like seeing some of these ladies treat their like spouse or like their future spouses. I'm like, dudes, that's not okay. That's not okay to treat anyone like that, but especially not your significant other. Don't do that. I don't know. I don't know. It just makes me sad.
There is a science behind, like, when important events are happening, it causes the brain, like, chemistry to, like, switch. So sometimes when they are bridezillas, like, in normal life, they're not that way at all. It is just because they are getting married, and it is just because it's a huge event.
Yep, it's like with stress. So my family and I were talking about wedding planning and stuff. Even though Andrew and I aren't even engaged yet, and I was like, okay, hold on, because even I was starting to get stressed, and I was like, everyone needs to leave me alone. I love you all. Leave me alone. We have a plan. Leave us alone.
Yeah, but families do be like that.
I know. They mean the best. They just want to help and they're excited.
Speaking of excited, I'm really excited to resolve this attack roll. Are you guys ready to jump back in?
I'm
Let's
a
do
little
it.
angry that you didn't resolve it last time.
MVP first. MVP first.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to do MVP, then I'm going to recap, and then we're going to jump in. MVP goes to Keryth!
Really?
With a resounding 4-1.
Really?
Keryth, yes, really. For showing us that overdrive. Finally, we got the critical success, and we get to see what it can do. MVP to Keryth, he was really bringing his A game this section, and an honorable mention to Khepri. Such an awesome dice rolls, and she even took out that giant centipede too. Nice. MVP to Keryth for finally getting that overdrive crit and some good fighting in general, and then finally MVP to Keryth for being on fire with those rolls today, though thankfully not literally.
Aaron.
That wasn't me.
It was
That
me.
wasn't me. It was Ashley, who actually was also on fire. Like, well, I guess she wasn't on fire, but she made other things on fire. Speaking of which,
An honorable mention to Khepri. Good segue. For always being the only person willing to try and talk out the enemies out of a fight. Also, for nailing with a critical hit on this freaking thing, because when we last left our heroes, they had just finally killed the whiptail centipede. After it finally succumbed to the wounds, thanks to Tanhi and I believe Keryth and Khepri mostly those three people. But then you guys decided to ignore the house entirely and then go into the crypt. You descended down the stairs, going into the shade, nice, cool darkness underneath the ground. And as you approached this altar in the middle of this tiny room, a shadow in the corner moved. Tanhi, you looked over immediately to see this wrapped up, bandaged, clawing creature lunge forward, and all of you guys thought, "Mummy!" And then I said, "Are you sure?" And you're like, "Mummy?"
Are you my mummy?
Mummy.
And then you started hitting it, and you realized it was actually sticky, not dry as a bone like most mummies would be. Khepri threw a fireball, a little produced flame, crit it, nailed it, and now it's on fire, but it's not like extra flammable like mummies could be.
And I am also stuck to it.
Yes, Tanhi is prone and grabbed. This thing is also prone and grabbed by Tanhi, and it is also on fire, and like it's being flanked by Keryth and Tanhi. Tariq is cornering it.
There's a lot going
Just
on.
remembering the Aslant game where
Oh yeah,
where I can't remember his name. Zip
Zapadol.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, was being choked.
Oh, and then we choked the choker.
Oh,
Alyssa's character.
Yep.
Choked the
Miranda.
Ah, that was great.
Alyssa, didn't you even draw a picture of that?
Yes, I did.
We might have to upload that to the Instagram and the Reddit maybe.
Be like,
Somebody
this
put a
is
note. We'll
this is
remind
the scene that was referenced in this particular episode.
All right. So, anyways, I've already loaded up the scene. I've unpaused the game. I've rolled the attack last week. We landed on that cliffhanger, and here is the result. Tanhi, it is a 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
And then here comes the damage. Ooh, nice damage. 20 bludgeoning damage. This
Seems
thing,
good.
it tries to break free, but you're just so strong. You're like maintaining your bear hug on this thing, and it tries to break free, but it realizes it can't break out. So it like bashes its head backwards, smashing you in the face, dealing like decent damage. And then it's going to try one more time with its -8. This is the third attack. Come on, buddy. Oh, 12 to hit. So we're going to move on. At the end of its turn, however, the persistent fire damage ticks on. It takes 6 points of fire damage from Khepri's produced flame, and I rolled a 12 to fail the recovery check. So it is still on fire. What do you got for me, Keryth?
Question. So I know Tanhi is stuck to this mummy wannabe, and I can't
Correct.
remember, was my weapon also stuck? I don't...
Yes.
Is it-
Tariq, Keryth, and Tanhi all have their... Well, Tanhi doesn't have the weapon stuck. She has her body stuck. But Tariq
Tanhi
and
is the
Keryth
weapon.
both have their weapons. Tanhi is the weapon. Tanhi's holding her weapon in one hand, by the way, and she can't swing it because it needs two hands. It's just
Okay.
slightly too heavy for a one-handed swing. So she has an arm around it. Tariq has the weapon on it. Keryth, you have your weapon. All of you guys are stuck on this thing.
Okay, so what do I need to roll to try and get my weapon out of this gross stickiness?
To break out of this adhesive, you will try an escape check, either an athletics or acrobatics or unarmed attack to try and break free.
Okay, so that's 6, that's 8. I'm gonna try unarmed attack. That might do it. That is a 15 on the die for a 23.
A 23 is really, really good.
Still not
It
good
would
enough.
have hit it, but it does not break free your staff.
That was rude.
That was accurate.
All right.
This thing
what
is extremely sticky, but it's also extremely badly injured.
All right, Tariq. You haven't been hit yet. Do I have your permission to go boom? Because you would have to
Yeah,
also
sure.
roll the reflex. Okay.
Sure.
I can
Alright,
just
so-
feel Erin going, like, shaking her head, she's like, sure.
It's not fire damage. You're fine. Your eyebrows are fine. Anyway,
Listen, Tariq, just don't damage the way he looks, okay?
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's true, that's his biggest fear.
if
Tariq
anything, he'll look
Tariq
even
goes, wait, let me look away.
cooler.
And then he, like, moves his head away from, like, from you, so that way if there's any kind of burst or whatever, his face is protected.
All right, so final 2 actions then. We are going to try and do explode. All right, now I could choose to increase the size. I'm not going to do that though because I don't want to hurt Tanhi. So it's just going to stay as the 5-foot emanation. So Tariq and the mummy wannabe monster thing will need to roll the reflex.
Alright, so... God dang, this is so funny. Did you roll your unstable check before? I thought you overdrive. Did you pass or fail that?
Overdrive is not the unstable.
Overdrive doesn't have unstable.
But
Okay, never mind.
I'm pretty sure she.
I got a critical
Yeah, she
success
got the
on
crit,
overdrive.
remember?
Now,
Oh,
if I
that's right.
did
Oh, the
searing
overdrive has a crafting check.
yeah,
It's
if I
not
did
a-
searing
okay, gotcha.
restoration, that has an unstable trait.
Gotcha. I am caught up. I understand. I'm waiting for Tariq's check.
It was a 12 on the die for a 19, so I got it?
You got it exactly.
Yeah!
I also rolled a 25, so I also succeeded.
Okay,
Ah!
so you both will take half
Lies.
damage. All right, in total on the 3d6, that is 14 points of cold. So you will each take
bad.
7.
All right.
Now
not bad.
I roll my unstable check.
I got you.
And I failed, so no more unstable actions for me. And that is Keryth's turn.
This thing is very badly injured. Habibi, it is your turn.
Okay. Habibi is going to try to help because he saw like Tanhi take that hit and everybody's like sticking to him.
Yeah, it's
So
very
he's
sticky.
going to use. Yes, it's a very sticky situation, and he's gonna just stay over here and use electric arc.
All right. This thing is prone. It is grabbed. Its reflex save is very hindered at the moment. And I rolled a natural 20.
I have a feeling reflex is really good on this thing.
All right, and as my final movement, Habibi is going to move up and be close to Tanhi in case she needs assistance.
All right, ever the best friend to Tanhi, you walk up right beside her, helping her in her time of need as she's here on the ground wrestling with this creature. Tanhi, it is your turn.
Okay, so action 1 for Tanhi is going to be to maintain the grapple.
All right. Smart move.
Yes. Okay, this is probably gonna go bad, but it's gonna be hilarious.
Uh-oh.
Action, or not action 2, free action, Tanhi is going to drop her great axe.
You just hear it clang, like tung tung.
Second action, she's going to ball up her fist, and she's just going to, like, try to strike him.
Alright.
Okay, here we go.
Oh no.
Like I imagine kind of like an she has it in a headlock and she's like just elbow dropping on this thing.
18 on the die for a 25.
Oh my god, that is close to a crit, but that's still a hit. Jeez.
Habibi gives her 2 thumbs up.
Only 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. All right, I'll take that. And okay, now I need to read this very carefully. Hold on. Any creature that hits it is otherwise touches it must succeed at a reflex save or become grabbed. You're already grabbed, so. And it says a weapon that is struck by the creature or that strikes the creature must also attempt an athletics check to remove it from the thing, and can also do a reflex save and all that stuff. I don't think you can be double grabbed, so I'm gonna say its stickiness is isolated to one zone, and you can pull your hand back. Although, how funny would it be if you punched it and also got stuck there too?
And she's just like struggling in vain to pull her hands off.
So my thought process was, if I did have to roll the reflex save, I would just be immobilized.
Oh shoot! Oh, I kind of want to see it. No.
Bite it.
Rules as
Bite
written.
it.
I'm gonna keep the basic interpretation. You have 1 action remaining. Oh, but that would have been so cool. All right, what you got for me for the last thing?
So she's gonna pull back her fist, and she's just gonna try it again.
Try again.
A 19 on the die for a 22.
Ooh. A 22 is going to hit. This thing, I don't know how strong your fists are, but it might go down.
9 points of damage.
Oh, it is still up.
Oh my goodness.
It's so close to being dead.
That is my turn.
Khepri, it is your turn.
Kepri's just gonna produce flame again, because Khepri was like, that worked a little better than I expected.
All right, let's see what you got. Roll that attack roll.
I rolled... Oh. I'm gonna hero point that, because
All right, early hero
Not
point.
bad.
I rolled a nat 1, so yeah.
Ooh.
It can't get much worse than a natural one.
That was much better. I rolled a 19 on the die, for a total of 28.
Another critical hit? Are you kidding me?
I can screenshot if you'd like.
No, go ahead and roll the damage. Even if you just hit, this thing is probably dead.
How about a 9?
Oh my gosh, 18 points of damage. This thing had 3 left,
Oh.
and it just kind of
Oh, nice.
bursts out in this combustion of fire. It was already on fire, so it just kind of like gas on the stove. It just kind of like ignites it even further. It just screeches out in this horrible eldritch horror scream. Brittles up, it blackens like ash and crumbles to dust. And with it, the combat is over. You guys are no longer stuck, and after a minute, you can see the adhesive kind of like naturally deteriorates off your weapons, and you can pull back your weapons freely, recovering from all of those other things.
I just imagine as, like, Tanhi is waiting for this stuff to, like, slowly go away. She just looks like a wet cat.
Oh, poor Tanhi.
Tariq turns to Khepri and goes, Khepri, that was fire.
Oh,
Gross.
good pun. You're so punny, Tariq.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay, so I'm no longer grabbed.
No longer grabs. You can stand up if you want.
Tanhi just sits there for a second like, this is some bullshit.
Or you like sit up and your like head's between your knees, like waiting for like everything to adjust.
Yes. Like, oh my gosh.
Guys,
That was
what did
rough.
that feel like?
Gross.
Felt like we were in a
Gross.
sticky situation.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's a double pun for me because my staff is apparently a stick, so.
Oh my gosh.
Roll. Okay, I have a sneaky suspicion
Oh my god.
that this, based on the stickiness, based on what I know, stickiness, and it looked like a mummy, but it wasn't a mummy. Do we think it could be a mimic?
Maybe.
Now that it's dead and destroyed, why don't you all roll me an occultism check?
Occultism.
I don't think I do.
I feel like it
very
has
well
to be
with that.
because it's imitating a mummy and it grab like because when you have mimics, like when you touch it, doesn't it grab you like because it's sticky?
If it looks like a mummy, smells like a mummy.
It's probably a mummy.
All right, so with all of your occultism checks, I can tell you this. Only Keryth, now that the adrenaline of this combat has subsided, he is able to take a closer look. He's like, oh, wait a minute. This thing, here's the flavor text for it. This pallid humanoid creature is wrapped in wispy strips of skin
Creepy!
with bits
Yeah.
of detritus and a sour stink clinging to it. Those aren't bandages. Here, let me show you the picture again. That is skin that is wrapped around it looking like bandages.
That's
I would
disgusting.
like to dunk my weapon into a vat of holy water.
Tanhi immediately turns to a vase and throws up in it.
Is that its
Yeah.
skin or something else's skin?
Unclear. So
Oh lord.
this thing is called an adherer. It looks vaguely like embalmed and mummified corpses wrapped in dirty linen, but they are in fact otherworldly beings of an entirely different nature. Transformed by hideous processes in the ethereal plane, their bodies are riddled with tiny adhesive strands of skin that can stick to anything, allowing adherers to bind enemies' weapons and creatures, and capture living creatures for their depraved rituals. Yeah, so they used to be human, but are no longer. And they do have very similar abilities and traits to mimics, but this is one of those homebrew things that I had to convert from first edition because adherers no longer exist in second edition. And you can see why I had to keep this one. Like, I was tempted, even ask Ashley, I was tempted. I was like, should I make this a mummy? Like, I could make it like a low-level mummy, like something with low stats, like just bring it down from like its lowest level to like something along your party lines, but... And then I saw this, I'm like, oh, I could definitely do this. It would be a little extra work, but I could definitely use it. I know you guys wanted a mummy fight, but this was just... Seeing all your GIF reactions, all of you guys talking about, I need to wash my face, my brain, I need to, like, bleach everything. I'm like, yes.
He genuinely was like, should I make a mummy? And I was like, probably not.
This is just, it was too good. And the whole the whole twisty, you're like, oh, we know it's a mummy. Oh, it's not a mummy. Interesting.
What was it called again?
It was called an adherer. It adheres to things.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
We don't
the
say.
the creepiest thing about it is that it used to be human, and that's not bandages, that's skin. Ugh!
Yeah,
So anyways,
disgusting.
yeah.
Gross.
Yep, it's gross.
Moving on.
And Tanhi was stuck to that.
Yeah.
It's probably still sticking to her fur in places.
Yeah, you're gonna wake up tomorrow and like extra dry skin flakes are gonna like rub off your fur. You're like,
Oh.
No.
Oh no. I didn't even think about the fact that poor Tanhi has fur.
yeah.
Oh no.
Would you guys like me to refer you to some therapist? I have some good contacts.
We might need it at this point.
Gosh. Habibi, can I get some healing?
Of course. And my lay on hands will also work on getting that stuff off of your fur.
Thank you.
Let's see. Do we detect anything in the room of interest?
Yeah, so let me re-describe the room again real quick, just super, super quick. So there's an altar in the middle of the room, and on each of the four corners of this little raised platform, kind of like a dais, there's four statues, each of them depicting two males and two females. They each have their arms crossed over their chests, and they have a khopesh and an ankh in their hands. You know that the ankh is the Egyptian symbol for immortality, so it's interesting that they might have them. But you can always roll me religion checks if you would like.
Oh, I love rolling religion checks.
I mean, Tariq's like still not like the biggest fan of religion.
So all of you guys recognize that this is a shrine dedicated to Pharasma, where the family could come and pray for their deceased loved ones as they cleanse themselves of the worldly dirt as they descend into the holy realm of the burial site here. So kind of like, you know how a lot of like Orthodox Catholic churches, they have like those fonts right at the entrances. You enter the door, you wash your hands, and then you go into the holy places. That's basically what this is. But yeah, you definitely recognize that one of the women here is depicted as like a depiction of Pharasma. You also know, I will give this to Habibi, Tariq, and yeah, just you two with your critical successes, that traditionally in ancient Osirian iconography, if you have a statue or a mural of a figure with an ankh in their hand, it usually is a sign of divinity.
Oh. Like Pharasma.
Yeah, exactly. In ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, the symbol, the ankh, or the key of life, is a symbol used in Egyptian art and writing to represent the word life, and by extension, a symbol of life itself. You guys have all explored this room a little bit. You know this is basically the entryway, and there are stairs descending further downward. Now, you could go back upstairs and explore the house, or you can press on and explore deeper into the depths of this
Dungeon crawl.
Is it the north or south stairs that lead deeper in?
The north stairs lead further down, and the south stairs are where you guys came from. You can see there's like sunlight coming from the south stairs.
So I'm hearing votes for north.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm hearing too.
Anything to get away from the skinwalker.
Keryth, as soon as you step,
Oh no.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't step in that room.
Let's backtrack a little bit. So Keryth was at the bottom of the stairs, and Tanhi was at the top of the stairs, and Tanhi is the one who succeeded at this perception check. As she stepped forward, there was a click.
Uh-oh.
And then, as soon as that happened, she looked up, and she saw Keryth take a step on the bottom step as well, and he too also heard a click.
Oh no.
The top step armed the trap. The bottom step activated the trap, and as soon as you stepped on it, Keryth, you triggered the trap.
Oh no.
I have not learned my lesson.
It's all right.
So what happens?
So you just see these spears lurch out from the side of the walls where you guys are stepping, and it makes an attack roll at both Keryth and Tanhi.
I decline.
I insist. A 26 to hit both of you.
Hit only for me.
Hit only.
All right, fantastic. You guys are both going to take 27 piercing damage.
Good lord.
What? Oh my gosh.
And the spears retract again.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying we could accidentally do that again?
I don't know.
Yes, that's what he means.
I am going to take a step here and get off of the stairs of death.
You hear a click as the step goes up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I should have stayed there so everyone else could get by, huh? Step over it, guys.
Khepri's not very tall.
Real quick, can we do, since me and Tanhi are still, like, in the hall, can we do a perception in this stairwell to see if we find, like, a switch or something to deactivate it?
Indeed, you don't even have to worry about it, Keryth. There is a switch right here at the very bottom.
I would like to throw the switch.
You immediately do, and you feel like, Tanhi, you feel yourself like...
You don't wait for Tanhi to get out of the stairwell or anything? You're like, oh, this must turn it off,
And
not
anyone
activate
will
it
be
again.
fine.
Our
It is
inventor
Tanhi.
sees switch and goes, pull.
Tanhi, you can feel yourself descend by like an inch as the top step depresses itself. Keryth, you can see at the bottom step also does so itself automatically, and they seem to lock in position.
Oh, we got lucky for that.
I did it, guys.
Thanks, Keryth.
It's safe now, I think.
It looks like you both might need a hand, like a lay on hand.
Healing again?
What would I do without you?
I'm just glad I can be useful.
Tariq's gonna, while they're doing that, Tariq's gonna look around the room.
Okay,
that
I was about to
they
say,
end up in.
Tariq, do a perception check. We don't need to run into any more traps.
All right, the air of this chamber down here, Tariq, is cool. It's nice and dark in here, and it hasn't been, it's away from the river, so it's not humid either. The walls and ceilings are tiled with stone. It's very elegant and nicely polished, at least as polished as it can be, being 2,000 years old. The floor is hard-packed earth, however, and giving the air an unfinished quality. There's a bit of dust in the air. A long stone table rests against the western wall here, flanked by 2 large brass urns. And then, of course, the flight of steps ascends to the south, while there are 2 passages, one to the east and one to the north.
Do I detect any magic?
You do indeed, actually. Just kidding. Actually, I lied. No, you don't.
Oh.
Tariq, however, on the other hand... Sorry, I lied. Tariq, on the other hand, you notice this tiny little hallway to the east here. It has 4 funerary masks. They hang on the wall, 2 on the north and 2 on the south. And they each are staring down at you as if in some sort of judgment.
Oh my gosh, why does he always get the judgment? Come on. Does Tariq detect any magic with his non-feat of detect magic? Or
No,
I guess
but
spell.
you might recognize these faces if you rolled me a religion check, however.
Religion. Pfft.
I rolled a perception for the room because I'm not interested in the mask.
Okay.
So do I notice anything in this room?
All right, well, while Tariq is rolling his religion checks, I will resolve your perception check for the room up ahead. The room up ahead features this large, mostly unfinished crypt. It has an earthy scent to it. You're getting this vibe that they didn't finish the flooring yet. But the ceiling and walls are tiled with stone, so that seems to have been finished. But the ground is, again, bare earth. Stone benches are set against the east and west walls this time, and there are torch holders mounted along the corridor and on either side of the wide doorway to the west. So, like, right where you guys are, just around the corner.
Okay.
There is the beginnings of several shallow, rough passages on the eastern side that seems to have been, like, under construction but have not finished yet. And, there seems to be like some excavation tools, like remnants of like a pickaxe here and there, but it seems to be ending in earth and rubble after only a few feet. So they look like they were trying to build some crypts here, but just didn't have time to finish it. Back to you, Tariq, and also Habibi for also rolling a religion check. You recognize 2 of the faces, one to the north and one to the south, as being that of Pharasma and of Abadar. You remember that Pharasma is the goddess of the afterlife. She's the judge of souls. She is the lady of the lady of the spirals. Abadar is the god of merchants. Khepri, you recently had a very close interaction with Abadar, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 masks, Tariq, you're not quite sure about this artistic style. You don't quite recognize them, but Habibi, you immediately recognize one of them. The other is Sekhmet. She is the goddess of, she's the cat folk goddess of war from the ancient Osirian tradition. She's one of the old gods. The other one, however, is Osiris.
Hey!
I just revealed a treasure chest on the map there, which contains all of these masks. They don't have any magical qualities to them, but they are gilded, and they are worth a pretty penny if you were to sell them. This is also probably something you would think about. Would you want to sell this at the auction, or do you just want to sell this to the nearest merchant and make a quick buck? They're each worth about 7 gold pieces.
That might be something for like a merchant, since it seems like more like, you know, with the masks that we found with Akhentepe, that was like very specific. You know, this feels more like most people would have something similar to this. You know,
you're talking about Akhentepe's funerary mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why that one was worth 30 gold pieces, and this one is only worth 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so stepping into the room to the east that you described a little bit ago, there are doors to the south.
At this point, as Keryth, Tanhi, and Habibi approach doors to the south,
Not again.
you hear some skittering, and also some meowing? It's a
What?
little strange, but just as you guys are about to get closer to the room or to the doors to the south, there's no other way to describe it. A swarm of undead cats emerges from one of these burial nooks to the side, and it comes out and it seems to attack Tariq, Tanhi, and Habibi.
Oh, God.
Everyone, roll for initiative.
They're my dead ancestors.
I rolled pretty well on these guys.
Man, this is gonna really stress me out.
No!
Ah,
Stop it!
meow.
The puns in this are
Yeah.
great.
So here's the picture they gave me in the book. This is a swarm that was specifically created for this first book of Mummy's Mask, and you can even see there's the old first edition summoner iconic. He's a gnome, and he's being sworn by these undead cats. They have all these red eyes, and they're like naked cats. They don't have hair on them at all. Super weird. All right, we're gonna start the initiative, top of the order, round 1, with this swarm. All right, it is going to spend its first action descending down here to where Tanhi and Habibi are, and it is going to then do this scrambling swarm. It's for its second action. The Yubashki cats clamber over the creatures in their space. So that would be you at Tanhi and let me try this again. Tanhi and Habibi.
That to say,
Each such
Kepri's
creature
not
must
that
attempt-
close.
It's not that close. Each such creature must attempt a reflex save or become clumsy 1, so long as they remain in the swarm space. So Tanhi, you have nothing to worry about.
I still want to roll just to see. 16 on the die for 21.
All right, 21, you pass.
I rolled a total of 11.
Total of 11 is unfortunately not enough. You become clumsy.
You're okay.
It was a 4 on the die.
All right, and then for its final action, they are going to do this thing called Swarming Claws, and this is where I need both of you to roll me a reflex save. Clumsy takes a penalty to dexterity checks, including reflex saves, so this is going to make them a little bit easier to scratch. I mean, it kind of makes sense. They're on top of you, they're clambering all over you, so they get their claws deeper into you. It's much easier that way.
I rolled a total of 15.
15 is a failure. What about you, Tanhi?
Rolled a 9.
A 9 total?
Yes.
9 total is just shy of a critical failure, but you guys are both going to take a total of 14 points of slashing damage as the cats just go.
My family.
And since both of you failed,
Ow!
both of you are going to also have to roll me a fortitude save on top of this.
Cat scratch fever!
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, Anjela.
That's a bad
no.
laugh.
Oh, God.
It's either a 20 or a 1. We've been over this.
Yep. No.
It was not.
I think it's a 2.
It's a 3.
I was so close.
Oh.
All right, what's a total?
3 on the die for a total of 11.
Could
11 is
re-roll
a
it.
failure. What about you, Habibi?
I'm gonna go ahead and use my hero point because I did roll something that was either a 20 or a 1.
Okay, it wasn't a 20.
Well,
So
I
what?
rolled better. I
Good.
rolled
no.
a 2
Good. Okay. 2 is
Oh,
better.
Gosh.
for a total of 9.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
No.
And that is a critical failure.
Oh, no.
You're going to immediately skip the carrier phase of Filth Fever, and you're going to immediately jump into the stage 2. You are now sickened 1 for 24 hours.
Oh,
boy.
no.
All right, good round for the Yubashki Swarm.
Jeez.
Habibi, it's your turn.
Hitting strong.
Oh, what happened with my failure?
You are in the carrier phase.
Okay.
So nothing yet.
For
Yet.
now. For now.
I mean, I thought I could take something from some cats, but I guess I can't.
You guys all have cats. You know how hard their claws are. They scratch and they
I have
dig
lots
deep
of
and,
scars.
This.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
they
have a
serrate
scar
your
from a cat
skin.
scratch too, and I don't even own a cat.
Habibi is going to move out of the swarm and be just catty corner to Tanhi.
All right.
He is going to cast. I'll cast Bless.
All right. So Bless radiates this 5-foot emanation from you, and anyone within that 5-foot emanation is then going to be, given a +1 bonus to their attack rolls, or is it also damage rolls?
It's just attack.
All right. Well, speaking of attacks, Tanhi, it's your turn.
Am I in the aura?
You are indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna rage. I don't know why I think I'm gonna do anything different. Because these cats are not friendly.
Go for it.
I'm gonna reroll that.
Oh my gosh.
So many
This is
growth
not
points
Tanhi's
going.
day.
So, 15 on the die for a 25.
A 25 is going to hit. Roll me that slashing damage.
16 points of damage.
And you swipe through, and you can feel that your blade, like, slices through, but not all of it goes through. They have some resistance to your slashing axe.
Of course they do.
Naturally.
Of course, it's a swarm.
And I'm done.
Don't you have an action?
Oh, I
You
did.
raged, you swung. You have one
And
more
I,
action.
and I swung again with a natural one.
Oh!
Yikes.
All right, well, it's going to be Khepri's turn, I guess.
Kepri's just like in the hallway watching all this unfold, and she's like, what do I do? So she needs to roll a perception check.
Are you trying to recall knowledge about them?
I am.
Then please give me a religion check, if you don't mind.
Why not a nature check if they're cats?
Because they are undead.
They're still cats.
They're
All right, I'll
still
let you do a nature
undead.
check, but I'll give you a nature check at a higher DC.
Okay, I'll do the religion instead.
That's what I thought.
All right, religion check.
All right, so you know that this Ubashki swarm, as true for all swarms, has a resistance to physical damage, but you can tell based on their structure, they're very thin, they're very sickly, so they have a slightly less reduction to bludgeoning damage than they do to piercing or slashing damage. They're nimble, they're agile, so they can get out of the way of piercing, and their taut, sickly skin resists slashing damage much more than bludgeoning damage. So lowest resistance is bludgeoning, higher 2 is piercing and slashing. True for all swarms, they are weak to area and splash damage. So things like acid splash with that splash damage, or Keryth's explode, they all will trigger their weaknesses.
I actually do have acid arrow, but I don't think it has splash to it.
It would have to specifically say splash damage, or it has an area with like a descriptor to it, like 5 feet or whatever.
Nope, doesn't.
If you have acid
And,
splash,
That I don't have prepared right now. Well, we're just
I
gonna
know
go
someone
ahead.
who does.
I know. We're gonna go ahead and just do produce flame.
Actually,
since,
no,
you
he
know,
doesn't.
Oh, in your daily preparations, you got rid of it?
Yeah, he's
Oops.
he's afraid of using it now.
All right.
well,
He almost
fair.
killed
Well,
a BB.
That's true. You can still do produce flame though. It won't trigger either resistance or weaknesses, but hey, that's better than nothing. So go ahead and fire away. Fire away.
Fire away, fire away.
I still need the roll though.
I'm working on it.
You have a lovely singing voice, but I need to know what the number is.
Thank you, love. All right, I rolled a 23 total.
A 23 total, even with the slight cover it has from being slightly behind the wall here, is still going to hit. Roll that damage.
Take a 9.
9 points of fire damage. All goes through, and this thing is badly injured. Keryth, it is your turn.
I have 2 options to hit its weakness. Okay. Option number
Yes.
1 is I
Correct,
move
yes.
close enough to use explode. Okay, that's option number 1. Option number 2
Uh-huh.
is fire splash, which is essentially acid splash but with fire.
Uh-huh.
In order for me to be able to hit it with both the attack and the splash, I would need to target this square, which would hit Tanhi. Now, if I did the explode, I could get up to this square and just hit it.
Do you have enough movement to get up there?
I have a movement speed of 35 feet.
35 feet will get you there with plenty of room to spare. Luckily, swarms basically don't interact with the whole enemies block your movement path, so you can walk through a swarm space.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try that route. Let's try that route, because I don't want to hurt Tanhi if I don't have to. So, one action...
Look at that, you're about to explode and not hurt your allies.
For once, I know. I think it's the first time! Alright, so one action to get up here in the corner. Second action is explode.
So you like spin your staff into overdrive. It starts spinning rapidly. Its core cold freezes, and like you see this like liquid nitrogen explode outwards. I'm gonna roll my reflex save. If you roll your damage,
10 points of cold damage.
wow, that's a lot. That's that would have killed it. It has 16 hit points and 6 weakness to splash damage and area damage. So that would have killed it.
You either got a success or a critical success, which means I'm about to jump through Discord to hurt you.
Well, I wouldn't be cackling if it was just a success, but it was yet another natural 20. I am rolling amazingly today.
You're on a roll today.
Alright, well, let me do my unstable check because I am a useless character.
Oh, you are not. You won your second hero point for a reason.
I have 2 hero points, and apparently they're not useful for anything else for me.
You can only stack 1 hero point at a time.
Well, it was still a failure. I went from a 10 to an 11, so no more unstable.
Well, keep your second hero point. Keep your second hero point. We still have a few more minutes. You never know. You might have another check. All right, Tariq. It is your turn.
All right, Tariq's gonna take his staff and he's gonna do a spell strike with Gouging Claw. Fight Tooth and Nail back a little bit there. Well, let's do the staff attack first.
Do you also want to get closer?
Well, I have it on 2 hand. Did it?
Yeah, but that's 15 feet away. The way you're like diagonally 2 corners away. That way, that's 15 feet. I know the measurement tool is kind of weird. Every second diagonal counts as 2 squares. So the first diagonal is 5 feet. The second diagonal is another 10 feet. So that's 15 feet.
Well, I guess
so they can make a circle.
I guess I'll move first. All right. He'll move closer.
That's better.
And then he rolled a 28 to hit.
A 28, thanks to your flanking with Tanhi, is going to be a crit.
Nice. So he's gonna roll he gets 7 damage, regular damage, and then he's going bludgeoning damage actually.
Did you roll crit? Is 7 your critical damage?
Oh.
I mean, I can just double it. I'll take that.
Now critical damage is now 22.
22
without
even
the spell.
With resistance.
Without the spell.
It only has a 3 bludgeoning resistance, so without the spell, that is enough to slam down with your staff and literally slay, or at least fully destroy, the last remaining dozen cats or so.
I still want it to be like a claw that I still want it to be like the claw killed them though, you know, like
well, all right, let's do that. Roll your spell attack damage.
Okay.
Let's just see how much
all
overkill
right.
this is.
Watch let's do this then. And it would have been an additional 13 damage, but would that have also been crit damage? Because then it would have been.
That would have been doubled as well.
It would have been 26.
So,
Good God.
you would have... Okay, so they had 16 hit points left.
Yeah.
Minus the 16, plus all your extra damage on top of that, you would have dealt an excess of 32 points of damage, which is almost their full health. You basically 2-shot this thing. No, not 2-shot. You 1-shot this thing twice.
So Tariq's gonna like kind of bring his staff down, and of course it like gets rid of the like they they're destroyed, they're all dead, and he's gonna like kind of put his staff in the ground, and he's gonna take his fingers and run it through his hair, and then he's gonna like look, because now Tanhi's like straight across from him. He's gonna look at Tanhi as like, I got your back.
Oh my gosh.
Tanhi's just gonna give him a thumbs up, and she's just gonna like put her hands on her knees, and she's gonna be like, I don't know what's going on with me today.
Oh.
Tanhi.
Yeah, because you also have to think, you have this filth fever in you. Like, you can feel yourself, like, getting sick, but not fully sick yet. Like, you can feel yourself like, oh, I'm going to be sick. I can feel it. The fever's coming.
And
This
that's
isn't
like,
good.
I don't know if it's me or like if this is a common thing for people. I think the act of almost being sick is worse than being sick.
Yeah, because then you can't like get rid of that feeling until you like
actually get sick. But no, Habibi is sick.
Are we gonna level up anytime soon, guys?
If this works how it worked last time, we would probably have to clear this whole place.
We won't get better until we clean out everything that's in here. I just have a feeling, guys. I have a feeling.
Because do you remember we cleared out the tomb, and I just felt stronger. Like I could hit harder. Anyways, okay, so Tanhi's gonna look at Habibi and she's gonna say, like, I know you're a little sick, but are you okay?
I don't know. Maybe after we sleep tonight, I'll find out if I'm gonna be any better.
Okay. How many hours am I a carrier with no ill effect?
It's hard to tell. You can roll me a medicine check to try and recall knowledge about what Filth Fever is and how bad it can be, because it can get pretty bad.
Let me see if I remember this.
All right, you recall. Oh, that was Tanhi. Okay, Tanhi recalls. So I just got
My
Habibi's
rolls must
check.
be awful.
It wasn't great. No,
Hey,
it's
I got a plus 10 in medicine, okay?
And Tanhi has a +1. No, Tanhi rolled really well. So Filth Fever is a common but like debilitating low level disease. It's very common amongst like rat swarms, in this case the Ubashki swarm, but it's very common at lower levels. Stage 1, you're just a carrier. Stage 2, you feel sick with a fever and like you're probably running in like the double digits, like high double digits, like 99, maybe 100 degrees. But by the time you get to day 2, stage 3, you're sickened and you're slow, like your head is throbbing and you just can't really see straight, and so you're like in the like 103, 104 degrees Fahrenheit kind of thing. Day 3, you fall unconscious and you can't be woken up. Your fever is just so intense. Your breathing is shallow. You're struggling to stay up. You're unconscious the entire day. And if you can't cure the fever before long, by day 4, you're dead.
Well, better start building that backup character.
Oh no!
That's plenty of days away. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we're only going to be in here maybe a day. Maybe.
And we can always go back to those nice temple people.
Temple people.
I feel like they're going to charge a lot.
I feel like the GM maybe undercharged. I mean, I feel like they undercharged us the first time by accident.
They.
Really?
Quotations.
Really? You just I said that to you guys in confidence. You just had to throw it back.
Yeah, but I feel like even though they undercharged us, they weren't going to give us a refund if they failed.
It's kind of like when they give you the first one, they give it to you cheaper.
Yeah,
so you'll come back and then like suddenly it's way more expensive, but you know how good they are.
We have coupons.
Yeah, that was cute. We had a cute Groupon. We had a Groupon.
Not sponsored.
Oh,
Hey, wait.
Oh my
I'm going to do
God.
some lay on hands before we move forward, Tanhi, just because I think we need to be as healthy as possible.
So from my medicine check, do I know if like Habibi could fight this fever off?
Oh yeah, for sure. You definitely
Okay.
have heard many stories of people like naturally recovering over this thing. So
Okay.
it's not an unfightable disease. You'll eventually, given enough time and enough luck, Tariq Habibi's body should be able to fight it off on his own. But I mean, people have died of the flu, so like you never know.
Bold of you to assume we have good enough luck to fight it off.
I mean, I do worship Osiris, and he is the god of life. So I think I think I'm going to be okay, but I am kind of scared of death, so...
Tanhi's gonna move south and she's going to listen to the door. And see if she hears anything.
Here's any clicking. Any
It is.
whirring.
I have to. I just thought of. Okay, it is as quiet as the grave beyond.
Oh my god, Wahba.
I have
Okay.
to. I'm sorry. It was
Okay.
bad. I know. I
Open
deserve.
the
You
door.
guys deserve better.
What is that?
Sarcophagus!
I don't
It's
Guys,
the
I think-
sarcophagus room.
Hopefully
Is
it's
it
a
though?
real
Because
one.
last time we found a sarcophagus room.
Perception, let's
Listen,
find out.
I don't wanna get
we have had
tetanus.
enough initiatives for the day, guys.
Never enough murder.
All right, we're gonna end this session with you guys rolling another. I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh, I think we'd all cry.
You guys went to the crypt first. You thought this was going to be easy?
Oh my gosh, it's dark over here. I can't. Oh no. Okay, there's Tanhi.
Tariq, get in here with your light.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I was trying to take some notes. Sorry.
The sarcophagus the altar upon which the sarcophagus sits is fairly tall. It's about 2-3 feet tall, like well above Khepri's head. She would probably have to like stand on her tippy toes just to see like the details of the sarcophagus. But the sarcophagus is beautiful. The lid of the sarcophagus bears the likeness of a man and is inlaid with gemstones and trimmed in gold. 2 lacquered benches run parallel to the east and the west walls just north of the platform, and hieroglyphs line the walls of the chamber and the stone torch holders set in all 4 corners. Habibi, you can read the hieroglyphs saying that this is this is the story of Pentheru the Younger. He was an ancient Osiriani man who started off. He starts off his story by elevating his father, Pentheru the Elder, his nobility. He talks about how Pentheru the Elder was hardworking and made a lot of money to bring his family into this higher status. And it then talks about his subsequent death, and then Pentheru the Younger's reluctant inheritance of his father's wealth. But you can probably understand that this is probably a little bit of embellishment. You don't think that Pentheru the Younger was really that reluctant. But then he eventually inherited his father's title and lands and his house, and eventually became the new owner of the estate. And then he was able to basically talk about the rest of his life as a land manager, kind of like a landlord. And he was a very successful merchant.
So we don't like him because he was a landlord, is what I'm gathering.
Whether or not you like him in real life or not is it's up to you. But yeah, looking around here though, this is very lavishly decorated, and there's, like I said, the sarcophagus, and it seems to be depicting Pentheru the Younger.
Can we open the sarcophagus?
Do you really wanna?
Try.
Do you really wanna?
Can I roll a perception check just to make sure?
I did roll a perception
Tariq
check.
does
but
the
I didn't
cantrip
hear anything
shield.
about it.
Tariq casts shield. That's fine. It's a very heavy sarcophagus lid, as they always are. So roll me an athletics check, por favor.
All right. I doubt this is going to be good enough. I rolled a 9 for a 15.
15 is pretty good. Anjela, what'd you get?
Okay, so Tanhi watches Keryth try, and she's also gonna try, and she's gonna roll a 4 to get a 15 as well, and she's gonna be like, "This, I don't think this lid's gonna move, guys."
Well, why don't we just let Tariq try?
Individually. Okay, you know what? Let Tariq try.
He's not scared anymore. He's got something to prove now.
And Tariq, what did you get?
He got a 17 on the die for a total of 26.
The other 2, what did you guys get as well?
Well, I'm still not feeling great, so I rolled a 4 and got a total of 9.
All right. So other than the 9, all of you guys, yes, even the 15s, would have been able to enough to. None of you guys let me say what the result was. You're like 50. I'm like, all right, so, and they're like, all right, never mind, I'm rolling. You guys are able to lift off this Pentheru's lid together with your teamwork.
Oh my gosh.
All together, you lift off the lid, and what you see within, I'll show you guys next week.
Oh, I know.
Per usual. Per usual.
I have to. Every time.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you liked what you heard, then please like, share, or subscribe to The Mithril Tabletop. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, or Instagram. Feel free to email us at themithriltabletop@gmail.com. We'll see you next week. Music and sound effects are provided to you by Envato Elements. The Mummy's Mask is copyright 2014. Mummy's Mask images, characters, and artwork are a trademark of Paizo Incorporated.